Imagine your marriage healthy, thriving, and fun again. Welcome to the Coach Martez and Woodrina Show, the ultimate power couple helping you with understanding love, accepting truth, and changing perspective. Certified professional life and marriage coach Martez Layton and licensed therapist Woodrina Layton are here to help you step up your game when it comes to marriage, relationships, and so much more. With 30 years of marriage under their belt and a proven track record of mending broken bonds, you can rely on Coach Martez and Woodrina to empower you and your loved ones to have a strong connection for life. The Coach Martez and Woodrina Show starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, how you doing? I'm Coach Martez.
And I am licensed therapist Woodrina Layton, and you are listening to the Coach Martez and Woodrina Layton Show on Transformation Talk Radio.
Woo!
All right now.
First show, let's go,
Yeah,
baby. Let's go. All right.
So stay with us for the next hour as we break down some of the myths of being married for life. We're going to discuss two of them today,
Yes.
and we are looking forward to having an enjoyable conversation of talking about just the journey of love and life and just fulfilling purpose, because that's what it's all about. When you're being married for life, you're going to have challenges, but you got to enjoy it. You know, it's all about having fun and enjoying it as well.
Yeah, we're going to keep it very practical, very real. We're two transparent people as a couple, but we just want you to know today's show, we will also discuss what about this term soulmate, and then what we call destiny partner. And if you're not sure what a destiny partner is, we want you to hear our perspective on what a destiny partner is. And is there really just one person for you? So you definitely got to stay tuned with Coach Martez and Woodrina Layton. Let's go.
Yes, and each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Transformation Talk Radio, we will have practical tips, new insights, and perspectives, along with life and relationship tips that will help you to improve your relationships, communicate better, walk in forgiveness, which we have both done. We'll be talking more about that later, and simply help you just to love better. Last but not least, we will provide motivation and encouragement, because you know that's what we're all about. We still want to motivate you and encourage you to fulfill your destiny, your purpose, and your dreams.
That's what we're talking about. So we're so glad to be here on Transformation Talk Radio. I got my best friend, my life partner. She's been with me since I was 18 years old. Come on now, if y'all been married or you just been dating somebody, you know what that means if you've been with somebody since they've been 18. Seriously, when she met me, I had wavy, natural curly hair. You know what I'm saying? That's all gone now. But anyway, though.
Yes, and see, when it's about being married for life, you have to know that you're married to your destiny partner. That's key. You know, it's like when you say, well, how can I be married? Can I really be married to the same person, you know, happily for life? If you're married to your destiny partner, you can be. So let's talk about that. Martez, what is a destiny partner?
That's something you asked. You know, one of the things that I truly believe, and this does come from a God perspective, and I just do believe that there is a person who has a calling or a passion or have been assigned to where their path crosses our path and is designed to help us to reach a destiny point. And what I believe is, I believe that, you know, there are people that God has assigned to us that not only is it just about my destiny, but when we say destiny partner, it's not like you helping your husband or wife get to a certain space or place, and it's like they've received their destination or they received their destiny or got to their destiny, and now you're like, but now it's my turn. One of the things about your destiny partner is, it's like both of you all's path are going into the same direction. And when you get there, you both feel fulfilled because you know this is something God wanted us to do. And that's what I believe by destiny partner.
Yes, with two individual people with different goals and purposes in life, but they align with each other. And basically it's like, I know I need you to reach my goals, and you know you need me to reach my goals. That's when you know that it's a destiny partner. If you ask yourself a question, Well, if I ask you a question, can you reach your goals that you believe you're called to do, or your goals for life, or your purpose, or your dreams, whatever it is that you desire to do, your destiny, your reason for God putting you here on earth? If you can reach that without your partner or your spouse, then that means they're not your destiny partner. If you believe you can do it without them.
Hold on, but let me also add this too. Not only do you believe that you can do it without them, but how would it feel to get there? Because, you know, destiny partner is like, if you get to this place and that person's not with me, it's something that's missing because I knew they were supposed to be here.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, and we're a part of each other's end goal.
Right.
You know, they may be separate, but they're gonna align in some way. So, you know, that's something to remember. You know, we always like to talk about destiny partners because when it comes to overcoming different challenges that we face in our relationships, I know for Martez and I, that was that one thing that kept us connected, that, you know, it kept me connected, even through all the challenges and times throughout our 30 years. We've been married 30 years for those, you know, because we really, this is our first show. So it's getting to know it. For those who don't know us, we've been married 30 years. You know, we've been through a lot. So during those times when we went through challenges, it was me knowing that he was my destiny partner that really kept me connected to him and encouraged and motivated to keep going.
So let me just ask, because I'm just thinking about some of the people that may be listening now, and you've never really heard this term destiny partner, or you may be asking some questions. So I'm gonna just ask, so Woodrina met me when I was 18 years old. Of course, at 18 years old, in my mind, I didn't know what a destiny partner was. I knew I did have a heart for wanting to be married and stuff like that. I had a strong belief in God, and that's still who I am at my core. But when did you know, like, you know, I was the one? You know what I'm saying? You know, when we talk about, I always tell people I'm a big movie guy. So, you know, you think about Neo on The Matrix, and you talk about the one, you know, for you, you know, you met me at 18 years old, but how did you know about being the one?
Yeah, for me, I knew he was the one because I felt about him the way I felt about him, I had never felt about any other person that I had dated. So that was one thing where I was like, man, I've never had this feeling before. This is a new feeling. But not only that, our values aligned. You know, he believed in God. He wanted to serve God. I was the same way. He valued his family. He was a family man. That's me. So it was one of those things where our values aligned as well. Because, yeah, like we say, we were 18. So we didn't come
you were 19.
Oh, I was 19.
Yeah, I was
That's right. He was 18. We didn't come into knowing what the understanding of destiny and destiny partners to years down the road. But like we tell people, we understand that our destinies were aligned because of what we're doing, everything we've been through and what we're doing today. But from the beginning, it was just that initial, like, I just knew he was the one. It was different. And our values aligned in such a way that I was like, okay, God, I know this is the one.
And that's something I always say to couples or individuals that, you know, that we work with, or that I work with individually, because we also, not only do we work with couples together, but we also work with couples individually. So let me see, is this our time, or we got 3 minutes to the break? Okay, no problem. Look, this y'all first show, you know, and Coach Martez is the one that be kind of all over the place. So Woodrina and our producers are helping us to stay in check. So please forgive me, but trust me.
We got 3 minutes.
All right. Okay. Now we're down to 2. Oh, thank you so much. All right. So, but anyway, I think it's very important for you to, first of all, know your individual destiny.
Yes.
Because you don't want to fall in love with someone and you really don't know what your call or what your purpose or what your destiny is. So then that's where it's easy to get confused and just caught up in your emotions, because again, as a destiny partner, our destiny should kind of be coming into unity, coming into harmony, and coming into oneness. So, but that's something, again, I know you all may not be able to do no questions about it, but of course, if you got questions about that, we're going to talk about this a little bit more about your destiny partner, your soulmate, that one. I believe this is my one, but I know we down, so we got to get ready to take this first break.
But we can talk more about that, because when we come back, I will want to talk about how do I know? For those who don't know, since you say you have to know your individual destiny, we're going to get into our 2 keys that we're going to talk about today for being married for life. But help somebody to understand how they would know what their destiny is if they don't know that. Right. So you all listening to the Coach Martez and Woodrina Layton show. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to continue our discussion on destiny partners, understanding your individual destiny path, and we're going to get into those 2 keys for staying married for life.
Let's go.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Woodrina Transformation Talk Radio. Here you go. Okay.
Oh.
Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Coach Martez and Woodrina Layton show.
Here we go.
I am licensed therapist Woodrina Layton, and you are
Coach Martez here in the ATL.
And so we have been talking, like we said, this is our first show, so we may be, I don't know.
Please forgive me.
If we look like we made a mistake, we gone.
She is Miss Preparation, everything down the key, and Coach, I'm just, hey, let's go with it. So please forgive us if, just in case, for those who may have perfect ears or perfectionism going on, it'd be all right.
It's all right. But anyway, we have been talking about, so our show today is about, can you stay married to the same person, happily married to the same person for life?
Now that's a great word. I'm glad you added
happily. Yes, because you can stay married, but can you stay happily married? So we're talking about today we're going to talk, it's going to be 4 keys in total to being married for life happily, but we're actually talking about 2 of them today, but we haven't gotten into them yet because we've been talking about destiny partner, which we're going to get to them, but destiny partner is key too in being married to the person for life, because you need to make sure you're married to your destiny partner. So before we went to break, I had asked Coach Martez to help someone who actually is trying to find out, like, what is my individual destiny path? How do they find that out?
Well, and anyway, that's a really great question. And that's something that, from a life coaching perspective, that I do work with couples to really understand that. And that is one of the things, because as we said, I'm a coach, certified professional life and marriage coach. My wife is the licensed therapist. And so life coaching is very effective. It's very effective, and it's a very effective tool in helping you to just understand your purpose, your goals, your dreams. And that's one of the things, even when I was going through school, is what I really loved about life coaching, is helping that person to see things. Because this is one of the things I want you to know. There is nothing about your future God hasn't already placed inside of you that he really wants you to be aware of. Now, let me say this again. I want you to hear this. There is nothing about your future God has not already put inside of you that he wants you to be aware of. What happens is whether it's distractions or emotional baggage or pain from our past or the influences that are in our lives or the people that are in our lives, that causes us not to come into that knowledge or that awareness. But I promise you, that's what a good life coach will always help you to do, is to help you to connect to your purpose. Because what I tell people, it's not like it's something new. Anything that, as a life coach, that I'm able to help you to understand, God put it inside of you. I just helped you to hear it. Right. I helped you to see it. And so it is very important. So that would be one of the things I would say is, if you really don't know what your destiny is, what you believe you've been put on this earth to accomplish, what is your assignment for life to leave a lasting legacy or imprint on? You want to connect with a life coach. Yeah. And I promise you, a good life coach, you're going to know it. Yeah. You're going to know it when you speak to them. You're going to know it when you hear them. So that's one of the things I would say. Yeah. And of course, for me, I never try to tell people, push people from a religious standpoint or anything, but God is a huge factor in my life. And so I always tell people, you have to connect to the spiritual side of you. As much as everything that we deal with may be from a natural or what we can see, I believe all of us have to connect spiritually. And so when you connect spiritually, that's also a part of helping you to understand, what am I in this cosmos for? Yeah. What out of all the, when you talk about being pregnant and how many eggs, whatever. Out of all the eggs, it was me.
Yeah.
But what is my assignment? What is my purpose? And I believe it's very important for us to understand that. But I believe connecting to God, and I believe getting that life coach helps to understand that.
Yeah, that's true. That's
and you
good.
need, and you want to do that, because for me, I could tell you, when you're dating or you're going, you know, you're looking for that destiny partner, that's how you can get distracted.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know your own destiny, you'll jump on somebody else's path, and that's not your path.
Right.
But they can look good, sound good, feel good. It's like everything just feels good. But destiny is not about feeling. Because guess what? She felt really in love with me. You know, because when she met me, you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I had hair, you know, much lighter on weight and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just saying, she felt really good about me. But on our destiny path, she's been through some things. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And it's the same way with me. We both put each other through some things, but destiny is what keeps you aligned. So again, destiny is not about feeling. And that's why it's so important to know. But hopefully that helps you. But again, I'm sure we're going to be coming back talking about this again.
Definitely. And if you have any questions, you know, you can email us any questions, and we can definitely, you know, discuss them on the upcoming show.
On the upcoming show, definitely. We would love to. I can tell you now, your questions really engage. That really starts stuff to move. So that's, you know, talking about destiny partners. So in staying married for life, you want to make sure you're married to your destiny partner. And then one of the keys, our first key to being married for life, happily married for life, is falling in love. So, you know, when we're talking about falling in love, that entails what we talked about, because to fall in love, I have to know what my individual destiny path is, so that I can connect with you and as you're on your destiny path. Because like I said earlier, they have to align. If they don't align, that's going to cause some conflict later on in your relationship, and then y'all going to end up going separate ways. And let me just say this too. That's a great point. That's a great point, babe. Because honestly, a lot of the individuals that I work with that are really trying to connect with their purpose and their destiny partner, this is where people get confused. Because it's like, if you don't know and you don't stay aligned, and a lot of times it's like you'll hear the flag. Because what I'm saying is like, it's something inside of you that's saying, you know what? This is not right, but I'm gonna just overlook this. But when you say it, if it doesn't align and stay in tune, because there's certain things that you'll know, you know what, that looks like you're getting off and going that way. And I know I'm supposed to be going this way. That's what I'm saying. That was a really great point.
No, you're right about that. And then you brought about how we'll know, because a lot of times we get those feelings, those flags, that intuition that lets us know, oh, that's a red flag. Well, when you ignore it, then it turns into a heap of red flags. But you want to actually acknowledge that and kind of question that. And if you need help, you know, like we said, talk to a life coach, talk to a therapist to help you to really understand, you know, is this something that I should be concerned about? Because we need, see, that's what, because of everything we've been through, we're trying to equip people, especially on the front end, before you get into a relationship, to kind of know, what is my destiny? What is my partner's destiny? Do they align with one another? You know, do our and when we talk about falling in love, also, do our values align? You know, because you cannot go, who you are at your core is who you are. Nobody can change that.
That's good.
Nobody can change that. So you need to know who you are, and you need to stick with that, and you need to know who your partner is, and see if y'all values line up. Because if they don't, that's a gigantic red flag.
You know, because it's one of those things when we're talking about value. Let's just say you really value your family. You really value spending time with your nieces or nephews or your siblings. And then, you know, you're seeing this other person and they don't value that. And then you're just like, but it's okay though. You know, maybe this, no. You need to understand that's real. Because this is what I value. You know what I'm saying? I value college football. I'm an Alabama football fan, Roll Tide. Even though I know we lost, it's okay. But I'm just saying, I value college football. That's why when Woodrina married, when she was dating me at 18 years old, when Alabama was playing, she knew where I was. You know, I still value that today.
Yeah.
I enjoy college football. So I'm just saying.
And even though I think about that when you say that, when I met him, I did not like football. I did not like football, but I knew that that's something that was very important to him. So of course I gave him that space. I mean, we're going to have different dislikes, and we're going to have different things that we really like and dislike, but that's just a like and a dislike.
Right.
So basically I'm going to give you your space, and you know, you watch your football, I go watch my movie or whatever, because I understand. But since we've been together now for so long, for so many years, now I'm a huge college football fan. I love college football. So it's like through the years, you know, I've grown to really love and what he loves.
Right. But no, that's a great point though, because you brought up again dislikes and likes. And so when you're falling in love, you know, it's okay to understand you may not like everything that this person likes, but don't become fake to make them think you do.
That is so
you know what I'm saying? Don't lose your authentic self.
Be true to
yourself. Try to get a person to say, well, I really would like them to see me in this light or see this. And then all of a sudden, that's why when people get married from dating, they say, well, man, I ain't never seen this person, because now they get to see the authentic you. And so like when you brought up dislikes and likes, it's okay to understand I could love this person, but it may be some things about them that I don't like, but I can promise you over time, when it's a real love and there's a purpose and passion connected to you all, you're going to learn some things over time. But no, you're right.
Yeah. And that's one big thing I tell people, be true to yourself, because I know, because I've, through all the years we've been married, there have been times in our marriage in the beginning where I wasn't true to myself. And that's miserable. That's miserable when you're not being true to yourself. You have to be true to yourself so that you can be happy. So going in, you need to know who you are, be confident about who you are, walk in confidence with that. And if that person can't accept you for your true authentic self, then that means that's not your destiny partner.
That's how
we're going back to that destiny partner. That's not the one for you, because he's going to be able to accept you for you. You know, that made me think.
And you are special.
That's
you
right.
You are important. It's like that movie, The Help. You are special. You are kind. And you are important. Now you just got to know, you know, when it comes to destiny partner, they have to see you like that.
Exactly.
They have to see you like that, because you're special.
That's right.
And don't lower your bar. But anyway, when we come back, I want to make sure and talk about that. Not only having passion, but loving with purpose when you're falling in love, because you definitely want to fall in love with that person's passion, with that person's purpose that they have, because that's what's going to keep you strong together. So I know we didn't talk about that much, but
we
brought out some great points. That was really good.
Great. You
look good today on camera. This is your first time doing this live, this podcast thing here. You know what I'm saying?
He's so funny.
I like that for real.
So we have been talking about keys to staying happily married for life. And our first key we've been talking about is falling in love, which involves understanding your individual destiny path, making sure your values are aligned, staying true to your authentic self. And when we come back, we are going to discuss, you know, not only having passion, but loving with purpose. So we're going to talk more about that when we come back. But you have been
dating with purpose.
And that's a big one right there, because you know you're wasting time if you're not dating with purpose. That's a whole nother show, though, for real.
That's true. That's true. Well, all this could be separate.
Yeah.
But anyway, I know our time is almost up.
But we will be right back. You know,
Coach Martez
and
on Transformation Talk Radio.
That's right. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Coach Martez
and Woodrina Layton show.
Here on Transformation Talk Radio, understanding love, accepting truth, and changing your perspective. We're so glad that you're here again, talking with us, listening to us. Hopefully we're saying some things that really impacts your heart, really gets you to think about your perspective, even about understanding love. And just so, here we go. But go ahead, babe. So
we have been talking about, you know, being happily married. Can you be, you know, our show episode title today is "Can You Be Happily Married to this, to one person for life?" So we talked
That's
about
a long time.
Yes, we can't. It is.
That's a long time.
So we talked about
kissing those same lips, rubbing those same thighs. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out with the same person, eating dinner with the same person.
See, as long as you happy, that can be done. It's just when you start going through them challenges, if you don't know how to properly overcome those challenges, then that can be an issue. That can be an issue. So we've been talking about, being married to your destiny partner is really, being connected to your destiny partner is something that really helps you to be married for life. But we also talked about our first key, which is falling in love. And that was understanding your own individual path, destiny path, making sure your values are aligned, that you remain true to yourself in the relationship. And then you wanted to talk about, before we went to break.
Oh no, because we were talking about not only just love, but actually passion and loving with purpose. And so that's why it's one of those things. Again, like you met me when I was 18 years old. But then it's like, our purpose, we even knew young, we wanted to make a difference.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Even though you had been what was the person?
Candy stripe.
A candy stripe. You always had a heart to want to give and want to help people. Me being in the military at that time it's like we knew we had a purpose that we wanted to like inspire other young married people, and we knew we wanted to represent family. So I'm just saying, and that's why I said this starts with dating, because you want to date with purpose. You know what I'm saying? You don't just want to fall in love with. All right, so I'm gonna just go in and say it, guys. I know we're on Transformation Talk Radio, but look, you don't just want to fall in love with the booty, but you want to fall in love with the burden. So actually what I'm saying is, your burden was for family. Your burden was for education. Your burden was to really have your kids to have a heart and a love for God. That was a burden that you had.
True.
So it's like, what I needed to understand is I still needed to have a passion for your burden. And that's what causes, when you're dating a person, if you can or get connected to their authentic true self, and they're willing to expose that, then you can understand, what is your burden? What is it that you're very passionate about? So then you can understand, can I connect with that passion? And then am I committed to connecting to that passion for life? Because we do know our passion sometimes changes, but our purpose should be still undergirded by our core values. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things, like, both of us came from, our parents may not have had the best of marriages, but we both knew we want to be committed to our marriage. Regardless of the storms of those things. But that was a core for both of us. And so that's why I was just saying, as far as, dating with purpose and dating with passion, like I always tell people, look, don't try to date this person all this time. What I say is, when you're dating, get to know their family, get to know more about other things, their influences, their friends, get to know these things, because when you get married, you get to date the rest of your life. But what I'm saying is, you want to get to know about you. And most of the time when you dating a person, they're not going to be the one to tell you that. They not. I'm gonna just tell you straight up. I talk with a lot of people who are in the dating game or dating phase, and most of the time the person you're talking to is not going to just open up. Get to know that auntie. Get to know that grandma. Get to know that mom and daddy. But sometimes mom and daddy have their own secrets that they don't even want to share. Y'all need to cut that out too. I want to actually do a show about how parents need to come clean. You know what I'm saying? And grandparents, y'all need to come clean. I know we got young grandparents. You was freaky in high school, but then you want to get mad at your granddaughter because she be acting freaky in school, but then you don't want to tell her how you used to be. But I ain't gonna talk about it right now. This Transformation Talk Radio. We Coach Martez is gonna relax on the first show. I ain't gonna cause no trouble, but I'm telling you, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you because you need to come clean. But anyway, we talking about staying married for life. See, I be jumping all over the place.
You
You
all right
supposed
now?
to keep me on
No,
track.
Martez, but it was all good though.
Oh, for
That's
real?
what I'm saying.
Oh.
Everything you said was good, and I'm
Okay.
sure somebody is going to get
Yeah,
something
okay.
from that.
Okay.
Everything you said was good, so that's why I didn't cut you off. It was good.
So we do want to talk. We do want you to date on purpose.
But we do want you to date on purpose, because when you were saying that, it's so much you said that stuff was coming to my head, because I'm like, really, in actuality, the person you dating got to be willing to open their family up to you.
Yeah.
They may not even want to do that.
That's a whole nother show. Because these millennials don't want you to. They don't want you to even meet the person they dating. Oh my gosh, I had to get on my daughter about that. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna date somebody for 6 months? I ain't even met the person. What is going on here?
Yeah, it's like it's different now. So that's
we're gonna talk about that.
Dating with purpose is, and dating for your destiny, dating for destiny and with purpose is so important.
How you gonna? That's good. How you gonna date somebody and call them your destiny partner? You ain't even met their parents.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, but I can understand in certain situations if they want with their parents. That's a whole nother thing. But anyway, now you're right about that.
The influential people in their life.
Actually, we're gonna have some millennials on the show to talk about that, because they got millennial dating rules. I know we
don't know them. That's why it's so foreign to us.
Right.
But it's important though, if you want to be married for life, to make sure that when you falling in love, you understand the tips that we've just given, that we talked about as far as that. So then our next key in being married for life is actually facing the truth.
Woo!
So let's talk about that, Martez, facing the truth.
Woo! Now that's a big one. Boy, oh boy, this is a big one. Now, why do I say this is a big one? Because again, Woodrina's been with me since I've been 18 years old. Okay, I'm 50 years old now. Whole lot of different changes. But again, when you're just starting off and you're talking about facing the truth, we're really never at the beginning ready to share our weaknesses. And I just want to come clean on that. I know we try to work with the couples that we work with, try to get them to be at a place to understand it's so much better to put the cards out on the table. Because what we want to do, we almost want to date a person or the person we're falling in love with, like we playing cards. I can't let you see what's in my hand. You know what I'm saying? Because if you knew I had this card, you may try to do this. But facing the truth means you love me enough to hear those things that could bring me shame.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Facing the truth could mean you may have to know things about my family. You may have to know things about me.
Yeah.
That in actuality, I would feel ashamed to share, but I love you enough to know you're covering and protecting me with what you know. Now I know that's hard, because I'm gonna just tell you, we work with a lot of people, and I work with a lot of millennials, and I know that's one of the biggest things. But if they know that, coach, how can I trust they're going to protect that?
Right.
So that's real. But that's just one of the things when we're talking about facing the truth.
Yeah.
You want to be able to know what is your spouse's kryptonite.
Yes. What is your kryptonite?
You know what I'm saying? And all of us have a kryptonite. I just want to tell you right now, if you don't know what your spouse's kryptonite is, that's a challenge. But go ahead.
Yeah, so because so just in case somebody doesn't know what kryptonite is, I was just thinking about that. But everybody know, just in case, Superman, that kryptonite is that thing that weakens him, takes his power away from him. So when we say kryptonite, we saying, what is that thing? Your spouse or your partner, who they are at their core.
Yes.
So what is that thing that will cause them to act out of their core? You'll say, oh, who is this person? This is not who you really are. What is that thing that'll just cause them to, to just not be themselves?
And also, what is that thing that can tempt them? Because, and that's why I'm saying it's like not only weakens you, but it's also like that's an area of high temptation. And that's why it's so important to know your spouse's kryptonite, not only from a temptation standpoint, but from a broken standpoint. So like I tell people, I grew up in a single family home, Birmingham, Alabama, in the deep South, Roll Tide. But anyway, what I'm saying is I never had a father. So one of my weaknesses was, which Woodrina would actually, once we really found out, I had to share her, because a lot of times she would get upset at me. But again, remember, we met each other at 18. But because I never had a father, one of my weaknesses was allowing older men to say things, and that I would be wanting to be so accepting that I would be wanting to okay, well, I'm gonna do, well, why are you doing this, Martez? Because so-and-so said do it. Well, what does that mean? Well, you know, I'm just doing it because he said it. But in actuality, I was doing it not only because he said it, but because I wanted to be accepted. I wanted somebody to be like a father figure that I can look to, because that's not something I had in my life. That was like a kryptonite for me, even in business. That was business decisions that I made that cost us money by me listening to someone older, and I'm just going by it, but I still wanted to be accepted. Yeah. So kryptonite, not only is it something where you are an area of brokenness or weakness, but it also can be a temptation.
And then also, not only that, we have to make sure that we allow our spouse or partner to hold us accountable when they see that we're, you know, that, oh, that's a kryptonite, that's an area where that's, you know, that's one of your weaknesses. You know, you have to allow your spouse to hold you accountable to that once, you know, once they actually, you know, see that in you.
See, look, that's a whole show. You talk about kryptonite, I guarantee you, when we got people calling in, they may call in, is this a kryptonite, Coach? Woodrina, is this a kryptonite? So see, we're going to come back to this one.
Yeah, we're happy. Like you said, that'll be a whole nother show.
It reminds me of like what Dr. Pat would say, you know, just slow down, Woodrina. Slow down, Martez. Don't try to get it all out.
That's true. We have months to get it all out.
Exactly. This is just the first show. Our time is almost up. I know.
Yeah. So it's time for us to go to a break. But when we come back, you know, we're going to be, you know, getting ready to wrap up, and we're going to just tell you a little bit about us.
And then definitely stay tuned for more. Coach Martez
and Woodrina Layton.
Transformation Talk Radio. Let's go.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to the Coach Martez and Woodrina Layton show right here on the Transformation Talk Radio. So basically, we have been talking about being married for life. You know, can you stay happily married to the same person for life? We talked about two of our keys today in staying happily married for life, which is falling in love and facing the truth. We talked about, you know, your destiny partner and understanding what is a destiny partner, understanding your individual, you know, destiny path, because that's very key in connecting to your destiny partner. And so, you know, I'm not going to go into details on our points because, you know, we got to come back and, you know, really go in on those points again, because we can go so much deeper. But we just want to, you know, tell you guys about an event that we do. We've been doing it for the last 4 years. We've been doing it for the last 4 years. This will be our 5th year next year in 2022, because we had to take a pause because of COVID. So, but it's called the Married for Life Walk. And it was birthed out of our pain, but it's a walk where we bring couples together and we have them to do a 2-mile walk holding hands. And our motto is never let go of the hand you are holding, because in marriage,
Jessica got the video.
Yeah, in marriage, you go through challenges, but if you remain committed to one another and God, you can overcome those challenges, you know. So we just want to encourage couples and strengthen the marital bond. But Jessica is going to show a video, you know, of the walk.
There you go.
Life walk is an event. What we tell people is an experience. It's not just a walk, it's an experience. So what we do is we bring couples together, seriously dating, engaged, and married couples. And we want to empower and strengthen them and just encourage them.
Marriage is the center of every home. And so married for life means I'm not letting go. Divorce is not an option. And so we say this is a movement because of the fact we want you to commit. So not just to come and say, yeah, that was something I did. No. We want you to know you're joining a movement and you're making a commitment that I'm never going to let go.
Yes.
I am married for life.
We do a balloon release where we have couples, anything that they're dealing with in their marriage or that they want to release to God, we tell them to touch the balloon and just verbalize it and just let it go. And we just say a prayer release to just let it go. And then we do the 2-mile walk. And when we do the 2-mile walk, we have couples to hold hands. And we say, we want you to hold hands and do not let go the entire time.
We start at a church called Grace, and then we walk to Kennesaw Mountain Battlefield Park, where we know that was a battlefield where they fought for slavery. So then here we are now, blacks, whites, Christian, veteran, old, young, Hispanics, all diversities, all ages, and we're coming together, and now we're fighting for marriages, we're fighting for family, and we're doing it from a Christian perspective and knowing that love is the center and that everything God is able to help you in your family.
Yep, guys. So again, that was just a little bit from the Married for Life walk. This year, we're going to be in Atlanta. Well, in 2022, we'll be in Atlanta. But again, we would love for you to join us. Couples actually come from all over the country. Of course, with COVID-19 and those different things, we're still going to make sure that we're following the CDC recommendations and, and doing everything. The event is actually an outdoor event, but there's other things that's going to be going on that weekend. But you can find out more by visiting the website married4lifewalk.com. You can also find out more at Instagram and Facebook there at married4lifewalk. But again, we definitely would love for you to join us, and we'll be talking about this up to the event.
Exactly. It'll be next year, April 22nd and 23rd. Yeah, April 22nd and 23rd of 2022. Yeah. So if you want to get in contact with us, you can reach us at our website, Dream Builders. I just want to make sure, because I haven't said this, dreambuilderscoaching.net. On Facebook, with Dream Builders Marriage Coaching and Counseling. Instagram is Coach Martez or Woodrina Layton. And on Twitter is Coach Martez or Woodrina L. So basically, if you guys want to connect with us, please feel free to, to connect with us.
We would love for you to connect to us. We would love to get your comments, love to get remarks, and definitely looking forward to some questions and comments, and us definitely really just making a difference in your life and making an impact in your life, and just helping to strengthen that bond and helping to bring the clarity. Because I always tell people, it's not the problems in your relationship, it's not what's been happening that's wrong, it's what we don't know. There's a Bible verse I often tell couples where it says, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge." I really believe marriages are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. It's what we don't know. And so when we can get clarity, when we can get understanding, we can change our perspective, it helps us to love more. It helps us to love longer. Because with my wife and I, if we didn't change our perspective, if we didn't get a deeper understanding and really accept truth about one another, we wouldn't be here today. But we got a long time. We're going to actually tell you a lot more about that. But we definitely look forward to you connecting with us. We want you to connect with us.
And then I wanted to say, and then not only accepting truth about one another, but accepting truth about ourselves.
That's so true.
Because you have to be able to accept the truth about yourself. That's a part of growing.
That's true.
So, and that's all keys in staying married for life. I know we have 4 keys we're discussing, but it's so many more keys, in staying married for life. But I just want to make sure you remember the 2 we talked about today, which was falling in love and facing the truth. Right. So you want to make sure, when falling in love, your values are aligned, you understand your individual destiny path, with facing the truth, that, you be truthful with who you are. Oh yeah, stay true to yourself and be truthful with who you are. And if that person can't understand it, then it's like, hey, you need to question that. But I want y'all to remember that healthy marriages do not happen by chance. They happen by choice. So you have to do the work. Like I say, tell everybody, this is work. This has been work, and it's still work. Okay? Every day. Okay?
And again, I know we want to go back, because again, I will say in all sincerity, I do know a lot of people have questions about, is there one for me? It just seems like I just keep messing up. I just keep missing the mark. Or why is it that I'm attracting the wrong people? I hear you, Coach, saying there is one. It just seems like God is not bringing them to me, or God is not bringing her to me. But we're going to talk more about this. I know this was our first show, and getting the butterflies and all of those things out and all those things. But our heart is for you. You know what? Everything that we do, like we tell our couples, we don't just do this from a job perspective, or I'm saying do this. I'm talking about coaching, professional coaching and professional counseling. We don't just do this from a job perspective. We do it from a mission perspective, from a passion perspective. I promise you, hey, I don't know if it ever happened, but if I ever won a lottery, after we do a few things, we're going to be right back to doing what we do. And that's changing people's lives, impacting their marriages, impacting their families, because this is our mission. This is our passion. This is what we want to do until we can't do anymore. So our heart is to see you strong in your relationship, happy in your relationship, knowledgeable in your relationship, because we do mean never let go of the hand that you're holding. And we believe with all our heart, God has a way of helping you to overcome anything that you've been through. But if you're with the wrong person, let me say this, the last thing before I guess we have to end up going, I promise you, it's not God's desire or God's will for you to stay in a marriage where you're miserable and the person has no intent to change. I'm serious. That's not God's will. That's not God's desire. That's not his intent. His intent is not for you to wake up miserable with someone who doesn't want to love you, who doesn't want to accept you, who doesn't want to grow with you. That's not his will. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in being married for life, but I do not want you to be miserable for life.
That's right. So Martez and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Coach Martez and Woodrina Layton show. We had a wonderful time today.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Please join us every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Pacific. And next week, we will be discussing the next 2 keys to staying happily married for life. And we love to hear from you. So please connect with us on social media.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. You
Have
did
a
great
wonderful
job.
week.
Thank you for tuning in to the Coach Martez and Woodrina Show on Transformation Talk Radio with certified professional life and marriage coach Martez Layton and licensed therapist Woodrina Layton. Understanding love, accepting truth, and changing perspective. Coach Martez and Woodrina Layton have been working with owl-bound couples to strengthen their relationships for the betterment of their lives for 20 years, and it is in their divine role in life to do so. For more information or to schedule an appointment with Coach Martez and Woodrina, go to dreambuilderscoaching.net. That is dreambuilderscoaching.net.